Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another episode of Day of the Ouya TV. I'm Tim, this is the weekly recap and here we go. In this episode we will look at some fun and some not so fun games, starting with Inferno, EnbornX, Lemegeton, Heavy Recoil and Wrestling Revolution. Are you ready to rumble? The first game this week is actually a game we should have covered last week. Sean McKay asked us on Google Plus why we didn't include Inferno or Ballistic SE in our last weekly recap. To be honest, the game thumbnails are just terrible and the screenshots don't show any signs of fun. However, after playing both and liking Inferno better than Ballistic, we thought it would be only appropriate to include Inferno this week. The game concept of Inferno is fairly easy, as it's a twin-stick shooter with some puzzles and very cool background music. So basically Inferno is similar to Dub Wars. Of course, you can argue that Dub Wars has created its very own niche and therefore the two games are very hard to compare. Still, I think Dub Wars is a cool game, but I like Inferno better. You should absolutely check it out, and the full version has a rather low price tag with $2.99. The next game I want to present this week is a fucking piece of shit called EnbornX. I'm only showing it to save you the time to install and test it, because, well, the screenshots and the thumbnail look rather enticing. EnbornX is a very good example of how not to do in-app purchases. If you want to fire more than 2 or 3 rockets, you have to buy 5 rockets for 99 cents. If you want to shoot more than 5 powerful laser beams, you have to buy more for 99 cents. That isn't the problem itself, it's the fucking window that keeps on popping up when you enter the usual rage button masher mode. Don't install EnbornX from Lemegeton. The very next game is another game from Lemegeton, and it's the complete opposite. I played it right after I rage quit EnbornX and was expecting even more shit. I didn't even know that it was the same publisher, but the artwork looked similar. Unfortunately, my expectations weren't met. Lemegeton is a name that I just cannot manage to pronounce without sounding like I'm French, and Lemegeton is also a game that is indeed pretty awesome. It's one of those cool Japanese RPGs and offers countless hours of fun. You only have to pay if you want to load your previous progress, so you can play as long as you want without paying. No goddamn in-app purchases for me yet. I would be very surprised if there was one, and if I ever come across one, I'll ask my money back. Why? Well, because the full version costs $6.99, which sounds like a lot, but this game offers a lot of playing time in return, so if you add another in-app purchase, that would just stretch it. The only bad spot is the Wii controls. I'm not sure if it's the Ouya controller lagging or the game itself. Apart from that, Lemegeton is a brilliant game and a definite must download. Next up is Heavy Recoil, Convoy Chaser by White Pixel Games. Most of us have probably played 1 or 2 of the games that inspired the makers of Heavy Recoil in the past. Therefore, it won't be hard to find gamers who will love Heavy Recoil right away. While I can enjoy my fair share of retro games, I found it hard to like Heavy Recoil. Thomas, on the other hand, loved Heavy Recoil and highly recommends it. And I quote him on that: "For me it's a mix from all kinds of SNES games and Green Beret. The prisoners look just like in that game. It just recalls a certain memories." And yes, Thomas speaks like a little Italian plumber. But he is right, it brings back memories of the games we played 20 to 30 years ago. If that is the goal of Heavy Recoil, well done. For me, it's just a one-to-one copy without technological advancement. So maybe you will like it or you won't. In any case, you should try it out if it's for you. Heavy Recoil has its fans, so there must be something to it. The last game is Wrestling Revolution, which is a ridiculous game. Most of us that grew up in the 80s or 90s know wrestling. If I say Bret Hart or Randy Savage, we immediately have a flashback of us and our best friend trying to copy their latest moves. When I saw Wrestling Revolution in the Ouya store, I had the exact same flashback. Needless to say, I was disappointed by the game. The graphics, especially the menu, look like somebody used MS Paint for the first time. The controls are piss poor, and whenever you want to replicate those super moves your opponent is doing, you fail miserably. The music and sounds on the other hand are awesome. Wrestling Revolution does have potential, don't get me wrong. Yet I was already pissed off by how long it took to create a character that in the end I couldn't really enjoy the wrestling match. Honestly man, I couldn't even reverse the size of my gigantic freak from 8 feet to something smaller. After that, I just had to make my wrestler the ugliest freak of nature the wrestling world has ever seen. So if the developer Dicky ever sees this video, please improve this game. I would love to play it, but at this stage it just sucks. That's it for this week. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, leave a comment or visit our Facebook page.